Hey there, culture explorers. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the world's most fascinating traditions and customs. When you think of Bhutan, you probably picture serene Buddhist monasteries, breathtaking Himalayan peaks, and the famous gross national happiness philosophy that puts well-being above wealth. It's that mystical kingdom where ancient traditions meet modern sustainability, right? But did you know that this peaceful mountain paradise has some of the most shocking, forbidden, and downright dangerous taboos you could ever imagine breaking as a tourist? I'm talking about customs so strict that violating them could land you in serious legal trouble, get you deported, or worse, cause massive social humiliation that follows you for life. From bizarre food restrictions that could offend an entire village to body language mistakes that are considered deeply disrespectful to their sacred monarchy, today I'm revealing 15 mind-blowing taboos in Bhutan that could save you from major embarrassment or even worse consequences. Trust me, number 7 will absolutely shock you, and what I discovered about number 3 nearly got me in trouble during my own visit. So grab your notepad, hit that subscribe button, and let's count down the most unexpected forbidden behaviors in the last Shangri-La. Number 15. Never criticize the weather or nature. Complaining about rain could offend the mountain gods. In Bhutan, weather and natural phenomena are believed to be controlled by protective deities who guard the kingdom. Complaining about rain, snow, or cold weather is seen as criticizing the gods' decisions and can bring bad luck. I met a tour guide who told me about Western tourists who kept complaining about the monsoon rains ruining their photos. The local villagers became visibly uncomfortable and started avoiding the group, believing their negative words would anger the weather spirits and bring more storms. Here's a bit of cultural context. Bhutanese believe that dragons control the weather from sacred mountains, and disrespecting their decisions shows ingratitude for the natural protection these spirits provide to the kingdom. Number 14. Don't wear red clothing in certain areas. Your favorite red outfit could accidentally impersonate royalty. Red is the sacred color of Bhutanese royalty and high-ranking monks. Wearing bright red clothing, especially in traditional styles, can be seen as trying to mimic royal status or claiming religious authority you don't possess. During the Paro Sechu festival, a tourist wearing a red jacket was politely but firmly asked by officials to change clothes because locals thought she was trying to dress like a princess. The misunderstanding created quite a scene before translators could explain the cultural significance. Why does this matter? Color symbolism in Bhutan is deeply connected to social hierarchy and spiritual rank. Red represents power, wisdom, and royal blood. Wearing it inappropriately can be seen as disrespectful presumption. Number 13. Never wear shorts or tank tops in public. Showing too much skin isn't just inappropriate, it's actually illegal. Bhutan has strict dress codes that apply to everyone, including tourists. Shorts, miniskirts, tank tops, or any kind of revealing clothing can get you refused entry to government buildings, monasteries, and even some shops. The government actually issued a tourism advisory stating that visitors wearing inappropriate clothing would be denied access to cultural sites and could face fines up to $50 per violation. For example, in 2019, a group of Instagram influencers were denied entry to Tiger's Nest Monastery and had to buy traditional Bhutanese clothing from local vendors before being allowed inside, costing them over $200 each. The cultural reason behind this is that modesty reflects respect for Buddhist values and shows honor to the sacred spaces you're visiting. Number 12. Never waste food or leave rice in your bowl. That last grain of rice could bring a lifetime of bad karma. Leaving food on your plate, especially rice, is considered deeply disrespectful and wasteful in Bhutan. Rice is sacred as it represents life and prosperity, and wasting it shows ingratitude to the farmers and the earth that provided it. A family in Punakha once told me about a wealthy tourist who left half his meal uneaten at a village feast. The elders were so offended they refused to speak to him for the rest of his visit, believing his wastefulness would bring crop failures to their community. Culturally, in a mountain kingdom where farming is difficult and food security precious, waste is seen as both spiritually and socially harmful. Every grain represents someone's hard work and prayers for good harvest. Number 11. Don't enter homes with dirty shoes. Your muddy boots could contaminate an entire family's spiritual space. Bhutanese homes are considered sacred spaces blessed by family altars and prayer rooms. Entering with dirty outdoor shoes is like bringing spiritual pollution into a holy sanctuary. What makes this tricky is that many homes don't have obvious shoe removal areas like you might see in Japan. You're expected to notice and ask, or just watch what locals do. I've seen tourists accidentally walk through entire houses in hiking boots, leaving families quietly horrified but too polite to directly confront foreign guests. The spiritual significance here is that Bhutanese believe outdoor dirt carries negative spiritual energy and bad luck. Clean indoor spaces maintain positive karma and protect family blessings from contamination. Number 10. Never step on written text or books. That discarded newspaper could be sacred knowledge. Any written material from newspapers to prayer flags with text is considered sacred because it contains knowledge and wisdom. Stepping on or throwing away written words is seen as disrespecting learning itself. I watched a tourist accidentally step on a torn piece of prayer flag with Tibetan script while hiking to Tiger's Nest. The Bhutanese guide immediately stopped the group and performed a small purification ritual, explaining that trampling written words brings ignorance and bad luck to the person's spiritual development. This all comes from Buddhist reverence for Dharma teachings and the belief that all written knowledge contains potential wisdom that should be honored, not destroyed or defiled. Number 9. Don't point with one finger. That innocent gesture could actually be seen as cursing someone. Pointing directly at people with your index finger is considered extremely rude and potentially harmful in Bhutan. It's believed to direct negative energy toward the person and honestly can be interpreted as casting a curse or even the evil eye. Instead, Bhutanese people use their whole hand or sometimes their chin to indicate direction. A monk at Punakadzong once explained to some confused tourists that pointing with one finger is like shooting spiritual arrows at someone and can cause them misfortune. The proper way to point? Use your open palm facing up, or subtly indicate with your chin or your eyes. These methods show respect while still getting your message across. Number 8. Never cross your legs while sitting with elders. This casual pose could show massive disrespect to wisdom and age. Crossing your legs when sitting with older people or authority figures is seen as showing arrogance and disrespect. It suggests you consider yourself equal to or even above people who really deserve reverence because of their age and experience. I remember during a village meeting I attended, a young backpacker casually crossed his legs while elders were speaking. The uncomfortable silence and those stern looks made it clear he'd committed a social error. A kind local quietly gestured for him to uncross his legs and sit properly. Respecting hierarchy is important. Bhutanese culture deeply honors age and wisdom, so your body language must reflect humility and attentiveness when you're in the presence of respected elders or community leaders. Number 7. Never disrespect the king, even accidentally. This one could literally get you deported. Bhutan's monarchy is deeply revered, and any disrespect toward the king or royal family, including stepping on currency with the king's image, making jokes or inappropriate comments, can result in arrest and immediate deportation. In 2017, a European tourist was detained for 3 days and deported after making a sarcastic comment about the king's photo in a hotel lobby. The incident actually became international news and showed just how seriously Bhutan protects royal dignity. The legal reality is that Bhutan's constitution specifically protects the monarchy from insult, and violations can result in imprisonment of up to 3 years, plus immediate deportation. So, be careful. Even accidentally dropping money or stepping on it can be interpreted as disrespecting the king's image. Always handle currency with obvious care. Number 6. Don't bring tobacco products into the country. Cigarettes could make you a smuggler with some really serious jail time. Bhutan is the world's first smoke-free nation, and bringing tobacco products across the border is, well, considered smuggling. Penalties include massive fines and up to 5 years in prison. The tobacco ban actually stems from Buddhist beliefs about avoiding substances that cloud judgment and harm the body. Even tourists caught with cigarettes at the airport face immediate confiscation and potential legal action. Here's a shocking stat. In 2020, a businessman was sentenced to 3 years in prison for smuggling cigarettes worth just $200. The punishment far exceeded the crime's financial value. And it's important to know this includes e-cigarettes, vaping devices, and chewing tobacco. All are completely prohibited. Number 5. Never climb sacred mountains. Those Instagram-worthy peaks could honestly land you in spiritual and legal trouble. Many mountains in Bhutan are considered sacred dwelling places of deities and spirits. Climbing them is strictly forbidden and, well, considered deeply sacrilegious. Jomolhari, Bhutan's second highest peak, is believed to be home to a protective goddess. Local guides will refuse to take climbers above certain elevations, and authorities actively patrol to prevent unauthorized climbing. There are real consequences here. Foreign climbers have been arrested and deported for attempting to climb sacred peaks. The government considers this violation of religious beliefs equivalent to vandalizing temples. And spiritually speaking, disturbing sacred mountains angers protective deities and brings bad luck to entire communities, making locals genuinely fearful of such violations. Number 4. Don't hunt or fish, it's completely illegal. Bhutan's Buddhist principles make hunting and fishing federal crimes, punishable by imprisonment and, some pretty heavy fines. Even catch and release fishing is prohibited because, well, it causes suffering to living beings. The country's constitution actually mandates that 60% of the land must remain forested forever, and harming wildlife is considered, like attacking Bhutan's spiritual foundation. Extreme enforcement isn't just talk. In 2018, a group of Indian tourists were imprisoned for 6 months after being caught fishing in a remote river. Their defense that they didn't know was rejected by the courts. The impact of this strict conservation is huge. Bhutan has become a biodiversity hotspot with thriving wildlife populations that attract eco-tourists from all over the world. Number 3. Never enter temples during menstruation. Women are traditionally prohibited from entering temples, monasteries, or even touching religious objects during menstruation, since it's considered spiritually impure in traditional Buddhist belief. While younger generations are, a bit more relaxed about this, violating the taboo in conservative areas can cause a major social scandal and offend religious communities. The cultural reality is, many temples still have unofficial enforcement of this rule, and female tourists who unknowingly violate it might face uncomfortable confrontations or even be asked to leave. This creates some modern tension between traditional beliefs and gender equality, so it's a sensitive topic that tourists should, navigate carefully. Number 2, don't wear hats or sunglasses in sacred spaces. Your fashion accessories could actually commit a religious offense. Covering your head in temples and monasteries is seen as showing disrespect to Buddha and, preventing proper spiritual energy from entering through your crown chakra. Monks will immediately ask you to remove hats, caps, or sunglasses as soon as you enter sacred spaces. Even prescription sunglasses have to come off, no matter the medical necessity. The spiritual logic here is that Buddhist belief holds the crown of the head must stay open to receive blessings and spiritual energy from enlightened beings. There's also a lot of social pressure. Locals watch tourists carefully for this behavior, and violations can mark you as, well, culturally ignorant or disrespectful. Number 1, never bargain or argue about prices. Unlike many Asian countries where bargaining is expected, haggling over prices in Bhutan is considered disrespectful and shows distrust of the seller's honesty. It actually goes against Buddhist principles of right livelihood and fair exchange. Bhutanese set prices they believe are fair, and they can take personal offense when tourists aggressively negotiate. I once witnessed a pretty heated argument at Thimphu's weekend market when tourists tried to bargain down handmade textile prices, and it actually caused the elderly seller to pack up her goods and leave rather than continue the disrespectful interaction. Ethical commerce in Bhutan is rooted in Buddhist economics, which emphasizes fairness over profit maximization. Aggressive bargaining suggests you think the seller is trying to cheat you, which really attacks their Buddhist integrity and commitment to honest business practices. So, if you think something is overpriced, the respectful thing to do is politely decline and move on, rather than creating conflict that embarrasses both parties in front of the whole community. And there you have it, 15 mind-blowing taboos that could save you from major embarrassment or serious trouble in the beautiful kingdom of Bhutan. Look, I'm not sharing these to scare you away from visiting this incredible country. Quite the opposite, actually. Understanding and respecting these cultural boundaries will give you a much richer, more authentic travel experience. When locals see you making an effort to follow their customs, doors open, friendships form, and you get invited into experiences that typical tourists never see. Bhutan isn't trying to be difficult. They're protecting something precious. These taboos preserve a culture that has survived for over 1,000 years while the rest of the world rushed toward modernization. That's actually pretty amazing when you think about it. Remember, travel isn't just about seeing new places. It's about learning to see the world through different eyes. And when you show respect for local customs, you're not just being a good tourist, you're being a good human being. If this video helped you avoid a cultural catastrophe, smash that like button, share it with anyone planning to visit Bhutan or anyone who loves learning about fascinating cultures. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into the world's most incredible traditions and customs. What surprised you most about these Bhutanese taboos? Have you experienced culture shock while traveling? Drop your stories in the comments below. I love hearing about your adventures and misadventures around the world. Thanks for watching, Culture Explorers, and remember, when in doubt, observe first, ask questions, and always err on the side of respect. The world is full of amazing differences just waiting to be discovered. See you in the next video, and safe travels wherever your curiosity takes you.